This is gonna be a video named Tools, Toys, and Tips. So it's gonna be basically things like practical objects I have bought and saw online over the last few years that are very useful, very fun to use, very practical, very energy conducing, very health conducing. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing is this. So this is a brush, a bamboo brush bought from Shifu Yan Lei. You can find him on Instagram or YouTube, and I bought it from his website, and it's basically a brush made out of small sticks of bamboo, and when it's together it's actually really strong and flexible. And what it does, you use it on your body to promote lymph flow and blood flow and healing. So you can use it with the tip, which is like this, and that's like for the skin, or you can use it like middle, and then it gives this bendy stretchy effect, and it's more like a massage. So I use it after workouts. I use it in the morning to wake up, because the slapping really wakes you up. It's very good even like before bed to really release all the tension you have in the muscles. The best places to use it are your neck, this part here around your armpits, and on your hips and your pelvic area, because it's like those are the places where you have the most lymph nodes. So when you slap those points, you get the lymph to flow. So you can get this from his website. It's really elemental wise. It's like wood. It's like very earth and water, because it teaches you this principle of not the basic physical strength, but the bendiness and the elastic strength that you get like when you're drawing a bow and then you release the bow. It's basically like in Shaolin philosophy, your limbs should be like this bendy, like bamboo. They should be strong, but also stretchy and flexible, so it can go back and forth. I have it for maybe 2 years, and I always say the day that I don't use the brush, I'm an idiot, because it makes you, like, if I use it for a few days on my shoulders, it just opens up everything and makes your energy flow that much easier. Okay, in that regard, I will go on with this other thing that goes along with it, and it is a dry brush. So what the dry brush does is basically it also promotes lymph flow, and it removes dead skin cells. So the lymph flow that you get from the bamboo brush is very important. Okay, if you want to see it human design wise, I use it because I need to keep my spleen and lymph awareness healthy, meaning that my skin is the thing that picks up the vibes, that picks up the pheromones and EMFs from the outside. So I need to keep my lymph clean. I mean, not only for the human design, but like for human health in general. And then this can be coupled together with that, because with the brush, you relax the lymph and you beat off all the hardened dead cells. And then with this, with just easy small circular movements throughout your body, with this dry brush, you kind of shake it off, and then you can use the brush again to shake that off, and then you can take a shower or whatever. So this is basically, you can just buy it anywhere in any cosmetic store. It's been very good. It also wakes you up pretty fast. It makes you feel alive. It's not both of them are not they're not the most comfortable thing ever. Like slapping yourself is not like it's not yeah. And the brush, like especially around the kidney area or around the armpit area, or like any areas that are mostly veins, not muscles, and like mostly skin, they're not gonna be comfortable. But you're gonna feel your energy is gonna flow better after that. Um, okay, along those lines, next thing, probably very popular, but it's like a ball, like a pressure ball, and I use it like here, and then I lean against a door frame, and I find trigger points. You can use that for legs, you can use that for um for any point that you have like a knot, like a tight muscle, but in deep, really deep. So you press against it, and you let gravity get into the deeper tissues. So this is very like after that, and you breathe, you press against it, and you breathe into the point where this is pressing, and the muscle will release eventually. It's very good for maybe fixing posture. If you're on your PC a lot with your hands forward, with your shoulders forward, you can use this on these muscles and breathe into it. Get your awareness, get your mind awareness into the point you're trying to release, and breathe into it. Breathe expansively into the pain. Many of these things I'm going to show today have a lot to do with pain, but after the pain, release comes. So this is the next thing. Along those lines, there's this thing. Also, if you do a lot of desk sitting, this is also amazing. It's amazing for these muscles, the suboccipital muscles under your skull. It's amazing for anything around the shoulders, anything in front like that. I use it also like this. I use it for releasing fists, because we can hold a lot, we can be like this all the time. And especially like if I do street art, if I use spray paint, then my hand kind of gets crunched up in this position to hold the can. Or if I draw a lot with a pencil or digital stuff, then I want to release the hand. I want to empty my hand, and then I use it like that. I prop it like here, and I use it like this. And I use it like that for my feet as well. So this is also very cheap. I got it a few years back. It's really cool. Okay, so that's mostly like for releasing of the muscles and lymph. The next thing is maybe not so common, and it's a more hard bamboo ring, and it's for the earth element. So your earth element are your bones. So this can be a good thing to strengthen the bones in this regard. So you can use it like this, and it will strengthen the bones if you are into any type of martial arts. And also, a thing that it does is, if you feel ungrounded, the best way to feel grounded again is to feel your bones. and this will make you feel your bones very quickly. And it also hurts a bit, but yeah, you know. On another dimension, let's say, if you want to think about your bones being the densest part of your body, and in plants, in herbalism, the most dense parts are minerals, and minerals and bones kind of store your ancestry, if you want. Like bones are the only things that are in the ground still when you get buried, and they're kind of like the remains. So like I kind of concluded that through this practice, through getting into the bones, through making vibrations on your bones, you're waking up the earth element. You're maybe waking up an old piece of your intelligence. You're maybe waking up your ancestry. You're maybe waking up like a warrior gene. I like to think so. I like to feel that way. So maybe it's true for you. Maybe you can try it. Maybe you can fuck around and find out. Okay, moving on. What else? What else? Let's go next. Let's go with this. So, any footwear that is minimal, that you can basically you can fold it fully. It's like you're not wearing almost nothing. It's just like something you have, and it stretches out. So I've been doing this minimal footwear. So this brand is Vivo Footwear, and it's almost like you have nothing. And it's really it takes some getting used to, while your foot gets accustomed to not having this cushion, and your feet can your toes can spread out, which should be the thing we do, but you get like this in your foot most of the time, and you have this thick rubber sole, and you know grounding is a thing. So you can try it, see if it works. It's really good to have almost nothing on your feet. It makes you really light when you get used to it. Um, Moving on. So next thing is a toy. I mean, also a tool. So it's basically a rope. And this rope is about, I don't know how long. I think it's maybe 2 meters, maybe longer. And I got this from wayoftherope.com. This guy, Timothy, he's a great athlete and mover and like body mechanics type of guy. A real ninja, a real holistic man. And I saw this on his channel and I bought it to support him. But you don't have to buy it from him. You can just basically take any rope, but he just gets these ropes which are so nicely braided, and they have this flow, they have this wave when you use them, and they're nice to hold. And basically how you use them is you hold them like this, and you do figure eights underhand, and you do figure eights overhand, and you roll them behind your back and then front, and then behind your back and then front, and that makes you it transfers to a lot of things. It transfers to, so the underhand transfers to running. It makes your body move in a spiral way. It makes you move in a not a unilateral way, just like this. It makes it move. Your spine opens up and it makes you move in this. So this is the underhand. So this is good for golf. This is good for punching. This is good for running. And then the overhand is good for swimming. And it's good for punching as well from another perspective. Anyway, it teaches you to move more fluently, and it's very fun. And you can get lost in like a half an hour, and you can do it to music. And like people that spin the fire poise can learn those type of movements. In martial arts, like I can feel the transition of the spine moving and flowing in this figure eight direction, and it makes a big sound. It's like air bending. It's like, and yeah, it's a really good tool. I'll link up his account down below. I'm not being sponsored by any of this. It's just like, if you want, just buy yourself a rope. The first time I got it is basically I went to a hardware store and I bought a rope from hemp, approximately this size, and I just tied these knots and I used it. But then later on, I realized, like, this guy makes such good ropes, and why shouldn't I support him? I'm not gonna tell you how much any of this stuff costs. You can just look it up. So, along the lines of having fun with tools, another tool I love to use recently is a slackline. So slackline is basically this thing that you tie between two trees, and it's a tension, and you do this to make it tense, and then you try to walk this line. I have a video called Slack Life, where it's basically a video showing how me walking the line gave me insights on life philosophy. I like to put on the Tao Te Ching, or however it's pronounced, by Lao Tzu, which is basically about balance in life. And I used to walk that line back and forth, and it's just your body through the mechanics of liberation, and liberation is the energy current that moves upwards. It's basically your body releasing energy, and then your mind translates that. That's like in contrast to manifestation channel, which is downwards, where you think a thought and you try to make it happen. So there are two videos I can direct you to right now. One is the energy channels, which ones exist. There is one of those either on my YouTube, my podcast, or my IGTV if you want to learn about that. And the other video I just mentioned is the Slack Life video, where I just do a little bit of balancing. But basically, it makes you very aware and in the now, because you have to use your full body to walk that line. And the best thing to use are trees. So you kind of immediately go into nature. You put on some music. You tie the slack between the two trees, and you have some fun. You can maybe fall. Don't put it too high, but it's really fun. It's really something that unites both sides of your brain, both sides of your body, masculine, feminine, left and right, creative, analytical, whatever you want to call it. It's good for balance. It's good for the centering. It's good for the spine. Just try it, like fuck around and find out. Next thing, so we got all through that. Okay, next thing is this. So this is an indoor thing. Winter is coming, so I got myself this lately. This is an infrared heating lamp, which basically heats and sends out infrared light, and it really feels like you're in the sun. And where I live right here, right now, is basically very far up north, and it's in the Nordics. And when winter comes, the night lasts from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and it's a lot of darkness. So I got this, so it simulates vitamin D production within the body. It detoxes your skin, so I'm very big on skin awareness and skin breathing, and like full body breathing through the skin, energy breathing. And this thing opens it up. It's also good for muscle tensions, and it's very good for like that comfortable feeling. It's like you have a little bit of summer in winter. It's also not very expensive if you want to invest in yourself. Next thing, so got that down. Okay, next thing is related to computers, and it's basically blue light glasses. So I spend a lot of time making content. I spend a lot of time editing videos. I spend a lot of time trying to market my things or doing readings for people or just painting digitally or whatever. I like to watch stuff. I like to watch documentaries. I like to watch anime. And I just realized I can get one of these and it blocks out blue light. It's also not expensive, it's not heavy on your head, and whatever it is you're doing, you maybe won't feel it straight away, but through a lot of years of using it, you will feel strain on your eyes. If you spend a lot of time on your phone or on your PC doing anything, I suggest you get blue light blocking glasses. Amazon, whatever online thing you like to do, they're out there. Next thing is these things. So I really value my silence. I am very susceptible to loud noises. So I got myself these. They are called Flare noise blocking things, earplugs. And they really, it's like you can hear if you can hear yourself breathing, you can it really it comes with three of these different things that you can modify, three different sizes. And because it's this little metal thing or whatever, when you put it in your ears, if you don't live alone, if you share space with many other people, if you live in the city with a lot of traffic, if you go outside and let's say you don't want to listen to music, but you want to be in your space, like for me personally, it's very important that outside influence doesn't mess with me. And some things you can meditate away straight away. And I use these when my energy feels scattered, when I feel connected to a lot of outside influence, when maybe my nervous system is in fight or flight, this brings you to the ground because sound is air. Sound is your air element. And if you want to learn more about the elements, there is a few videos I have on some of my channels. So Instagram, the podcast on Anchor, or the YouTube videos. There's about the elements and how to balance each element in your daily life. But basically sound and thoughts are air element. And if I feel that the outside is feeding me too much information and I mostly take it in passively, so wherever I am, I'm like a sponge. So I need to use I love to use this to know who I am in situations where outside noises or loud noises make me. So it's called Flare. I'll see if I can link them as well. They're amazing. They're amazing. I was basically sharing a space with a family up until recently, and they had two small children, and one of them was a generator, and generators are just just all the time, very loud, very energetic, and I had to get that in order to get any work done, in order to stay calm until I moved. And still today, maybe if there's a lot of traffic, if I just want to pull my energy and cut myself off from the air element, because if you are in excess with the air element, it means all the other elements are in deficiency. So if you cut off your air like that, you turn off your Wi-Fi, you put these headphones on, you do some breath work, and then go into grounding. So go into practices like this, like where did I put the thing? So basically, if you wanna go from the air to earth, you put on these headphones and you use this, or use any of these earthing and fluid like slackline is water, earth, fire, maybe a little bit of fire. The rope is mostly water, but then also fire because it's cardio, and slightly earth. I would say the bamboo thing that you hit on your bones is mostly earth. The bamboo thing that you slap yourself with is fire because it's lymph and blood, and also water because lymph is fluid and it makes you more fluid. Okay, okay. So those were the headphones. The next thing I would suggest is not revolutionary at all, and that's basically Post-its. Either Post-its or like notebooks that you kind of write down your thoughts or teachings, or like I'm very fond of this old way of writing things down with your hand, and like really spending time of filling out pages and pages. I love to do it. I love when I fill out like when I fill out a notebook full of things I read, things I watch, my own thoughts, and then I have like a bank. I have like a bank that I can go to each morning or whenever. I know that this notebook is then filled with thoughts that are definitely going to help me. Anything I open, I have this book since 2018. Every time I open it, wherever I open it, I just go poof, open it somewhere randomly, and I know that something that I read is gonna either help me with something practical, or it's gonna mentally get me back, bring me back to a timeline where I was doing that thing. So my dad always says, a wise man writes things down and a fool tries to remember. It's also air element. If you have a lot of thoughts, write them down. It's like you dump them. You just dump them and leave them alone, and then go on a slack line. Go stretch a slack line, put on some music, put on some Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, and just balance. And you'll see, you'll peel off a few onions from yourself. There's a video about that as well. It's called Peeling the Onions or something like that. Just look it up on my channels, either the YouTube or the shameless self-promotion. Anyway, next up, and I think it's the last one. Yeah, it's the last one. If you made it this far, these things are gonna be like sugar at the end. And it's basically, they're called tensor rings. And they are copper wires that are strung together and then welded. And they are strung together in these circular shapes. They're called cubits, sacred cubits, something like that. They come in various sizes. And what they basically do is, within the circle, because the copper wire, I have these big ones, you can put them on your head if you want. You'll realize what they're for, but so they are wired together and spun around like this, and within them, within this center field, they create, because they're so tensored, there's a tension here, there's a vibrational field within them that mimics and mirrors the Schumann resonance. And the Schumann resonance is basically the vibration of Earth. It's the vibration that you feel when you go into the forest. It's the vibration that everything on Earth is aligned to. There's a video about that as well. It's me talking about like going into nature and disconnecting from the Wi-Fi and trying to connect to this other thing that's out there, and it's basically the Schumann resonance. And this makes it like, so you have this little portable Schumann resonance amplifier that I'm not sure, but 2 or 3 times here it's stronger. And what this does is, so we have to take water. So water has the property to absorb outside intentions, thoughts, and vibrations that you can put into the water. It's called structuring the water. So any water that's like hasn't been structured is basically dead. Any water that doesn't have minerals is basically dead. You're drinking it, but it's cleaning stuff out from you, but it's not giving you any electrical properties for your body. It's not giving you any electrical charge, and we are electrical beings, and the main nourishment we get is from food that gives you that. We need to eat foods that are alive. If you eat dead foods, you put death inside of you. If you eat alive foods, you put life inside of you. The things that are alive are the things that have electricity in them. So like raw foods, fruits, anything that is still conductive, anything that is mostly water, that conducts the life force energy. Dense foods versus less dense but more electrical foods. So just in terms of water, why these things are good, what are these things good for, is basically your regular tap water doesn't have any minerals and it's dead. It's not electric. It sits. It's not structured. It sits in the pipes. It sits down in the sewers or whatever, and it's not structured. And what the tensor ring does is it basically changes the molecular arrangement within the water so your body can assimilate it more, it hydrates you better. So how you can use it? You can use it by, so a thing that I'm not showing you here, but it's basically a water distiller. You can buy it like that, and then you change the filters. How I use it is I distill a bunch of water, so it filters out heavy metals from the pipes and all that other bullshit. And then I boil some tea. The next video I'm gonna make in the next few days is gonna be what herbs I like to use, what mushrooms I like to use, and like what supplements I use in my daily life. And I basically make tea. I put these supplements in, I put these minerals in, then the tea is put in a glass container, never plastic, and it sits overnight with these tensor rings around the water. You don't have to make tea, but anything that has water content in it, if it's if it's basically tap water, you're gonna be drinking dead water. But you might as well use these tensor rings to make the water more structured, so the molecules, you can just try it for yourself. Like you can buy these, they're not so expensive. It's just basically copper wiring made like that. It's basically, it makes your water more electric. It charges up the water. It changes the structure of the water. And like from experience, a very practical and easy way I can feel a difference is the water feels soft. The water feels like, if you can sometimes taste the difference between hard water and soft water, this water feels like silk. It feels like, I mean, it's not woo-woo, it's not esoteric. You can just try it for yourself. Because water takes up, like humans are mostly water, and you can feel like shit next to some type of vibrations. You can feel like shit when somebody insults you, because the water within you, the emotional element within you changes based on that. When you talk positive things to plants, plants grow better. These things also can be used. You can put them on a house plant. The plant is going to flourish. Bigger structures like this are definitely going to be used in the future um, to enhance crops. You can put these things in gardens and then water the plants, and then you'll see what happens. So I made this last because maybe some audience is gonna think this is woo-woo, but once again, I love this saying from Based in the Plants guy. Fuck around and find out. Like any of these things I'm trying to show you today are just suggestions. You can just take them and maybe it can enhance your life. Maybe you can have some fun with it. Maybe it will open up your body. Maybe you'll feel better. And yeah, fuck around and find out. So I think that's it for today. So some guidelines to where to go next. If you want to learn more about the elements, check out some of my videos. If you want to learn about human design, if you want a human design reading, see how your energy within your body moves, you can send me a DM, check my links to see how you can book a session. If you want to have a session about like guided meditation through your elements within your body, there's links for that as well. Link in my bio. Send me a DM, send me an email. And yeah, what else? Nothing else. Enjoy these tools.